Hello and welcome everyone to Daily Immigration Dose. I'm Sam, your host, and today we are going to talk about a very important topic, and that's also very interesting and very timely topic that we are going to touch in today's session. So, thank you so much everyone for joining us, and make sure to comment here on the comment section because we are here for an hour. And we'll make sure that we are going to take those comments and have a very healthy and very lively discussion. And friends, the best part of this session is also you can join us on call by dialing this number. That is 425 4366 335, and the access code is 988888. So go ahead and dial this number. And also there's a very important disclaimer, friends, that I would also like to read it out before jumping into our today's session and also inviting my co-host. So, by watching our videos, you understand that the information shared, including user comments, is not a professional advice. So, use it at your own risk. Our intention is never to offend, it's just a casual exchange of ideas. All right, friends. So, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us and being a part of this very fruitful and very insightful session. Today, we are going to talk about Indian students and how they are going to or how they're getting affected by the US deportation policies. So, if you are an international student or if you know someone who is, then make sure to watch this session till the end. Meanwhile, I would also like to say that I'll be joined by my co-host Nipasa Pradhan, and she'll be here just after when I'll go through the news updates. So, friends, I think without any further ado, let me go ahead with my very first news update. And that's very important to know that Trump's crackdown on illegal immigration targets 725,000 undocumented Indians. So, President Donald Trump's administration has launched one of the largest mass deportation operation in the history. And that's what he has been saying before swearing in as the 47th president. He also targeted undocumented migrants across the US, and among the affected groups, India ranks the third with over 725,000 undocumented migrants, after Mexico and El Salvador, according to Pew Research Center analysis. So this is something a very major, a very important to understand that India is being the third number, those who have been there for the illegal immigrants. Also on January 22, 2025, Trump signed an executive order that is ramping up deportation efforts, citing these strained illegal immigration places on American resources, public safety, and the economy. In 2023 alone, there were 90,000 Indian nationals were apprehended attempting illegal entry into the US. And this surge in deportation underscores the administration's commitment to combating illegal immigration, leaving Indian migrants in a precarious position amid the escalating measures. So this is something very hard, and this is something very difficult to understand that Indian nationals, where most of the H-1B workers, most of the highly skilled workers are Indian in the US, and also if we talk about the illegal one, then also Indians are there, and so many Indians are there, almost 725,000, and that's a huge number. Well, moving ahead to my next news, friends, I have this another news, and that's Indian students quit part time jobs amid Trump's visa crackdown. So, Indian students in the US are quitting the unauthorized part time jobs over fears of deportation. And especially the students, those who are on F1 visa, they are very much scared. They are very nervous because they have been working, off campus. Because on F1 visa, they can work only for 20 hours on an hour. But now they have to leave those things, and now they have to come back and have that tension in their mind that they might get deported if they won't follow the rules. And immigration experts also warn that unauthorized work could lead to deportation and loss of visa opportunities in the future, including the H-1B and the green cards. With the rupee hitting a record low and education expenses soaring, Indian students face mounting financial pressure, adding to the uncertainty of their future in the US. There's another very important news, friends, that happened in the Colorado, and that's about massive immigration raid that happened at Colorado nightclub, and that sparks fear among migrants. So, dramatic raid at a Colorado nightclub by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, that is DEA, resulted in the arrest of 50 individuals as part of President Donald Trump's intensified immigration enforcement efforts. So we can see that how much aggressively Trump is now into deporting all the illegal immigrants. He's not just working with the ICE, there are different departments as well, and one of them is DEA. And the operation is part of a broader crackdown targeting undocumented immigrants. The raid has sent shock waves through immigrant communities, particularly among Haitians on temporary status program, who now face heightened anxiety and the looming threat of deportation. But it's not just about Haitians, but it's everyone, even the one, those who are legal, they are also extremely fearing, they are also extremely, tired because of all these concerns that they have been going through. And the community leaders are calling for clarity and support amidst growing fear. So these were some of the news updates, friends, from my end, and there are different news updates from co-host Nipasa. So Nipasa, please go ahead and share some very important news that our viewers should know about.
Thank you so much, Sam. And first of all, a big hello to all you folks out there. Really happy to be here once again on another episode of Daily Immigration Dose. And it's a Monday. I hope that the start to your Monday was a very splendid one. It's already evening, and it's, I think, one of the last Mondays of January. You know what? I feel like January is one of the buffer months. The actual 2025 is going to start from February. So I'm excited for another new month. But nonetheless, this is a new week, and I hope that you are fully energized. And thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you had a good session already, because Sam had a webinar earlier this afternoon, so I hope you enjoyed that one. If you didn't as yet get a chance to watch, please go check out Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. We are on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and on X, and even on Instagram. But most of these first four we stream. So I hope that you enjoyed, and even if not, you can still catch the stream. And don't forget to comment as well, because your comments is what we cater to. If you have questions or anything, we address them in some of our webinars. So thank you so much once again, and those were great news updates, Sam. Thank you so much. Really happy to see you on a Monday today. So
Me too.
I also have a few news updates, and I'm going to start with this first one, which is Trump administration's Gurudwara raids, in New York and New Jersey. They really spark outrage among Sikh communities. And immigration officers, from the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, they visited Gurudwaras in New York and New Jersey and reportedly searching for undocumented immigrants. Can you imagine it? Well, this follows a policy, reversal under President Trump that eliminates protections for sensitive areas, including places of worship. So the raids have drawn, sharp criticism from Sikh organizations, with leaders even warning that such actions, threaten religious sanctity and could deter community members from practicing their faith. And DHS defended the operations, citing public safety and the enforcement of immigration laws. So, Sikh advocacy groups, however, they have called the policy change really troubling and a direct threat to religious freedoms. I wonder, what do you think about this action? Let me know in the comments below. It'll be very nice to know your thoughts, whether it's a gurudwara, a church, or anywhere else, searching for undocumented, immigrants in places of worship. How much do you support it, or are you against it? And this next update I have is about Tennessee's immigration agenda, which sparks controversy in special session. So yes, Governor Bill Lee's immigration bill, touted as one of the most extreme measures in any non-border state, and it has ignited heated debate in Tennessee's special legislative session. The proposal includes the creation of state immigration enforcement division and harsher penalties for officers, supporting sanctuary city policies, and visually distinctive markers on IDs for non-citizens. So critics argue the measures duplicate existing laws and could devastate, the state's immigrant workforce, which contributes significantly to Tennessee's economy. And supporters, including House Leader William Lambert, see it as a necessary step to align with President Trump's national immigration crackdown. And as immigrant advocates decried the bill's potential economic and human toll, Lee insists it will keep communities safe. Debate continues as lawmakers balance immigration reforms, school voucher proposals, and disaster relief efforts. And I have another update, and that is, Vice President Vance supports immigration raids, and he expects a chilling effect on illegal immigration. The Trump administration's crackdown on undocumented immigrants has intensified, and we must have seen this in the latest news updates where everything is about almost illegal immigration or deportation or these new reforms and new ideas that Trump has, to reduce illegal immigration or the immigrants who are already existing illegally. So, yes, and he has intensified with immigration and customs enforcement, that is ICE, arresting over 1,000 individuals across the US in the past weekend. So, when you think about the weekend, it's only good and you want to party. But this time, around in America, it has been very, very intense. And Vice President J.D. Vance voiced support for the raids, which included operations at school, and expressed, hope that such measures would deter illegal immigration. And Vance also hinted that raids on religious buildings are not off the table, emphasizing that public safety concerns. And this escalation really comes from as federal agencies, including the DEA, FBI, and ATF, they all joined ICE in executing the operations. So, Acting Deputy Attorney General Emil Bove stated that the administration would use all available tools to protect the homeland. And critics, including Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker and immigrant rights groups, they have condemned the aggressive approach, warning of its impact on long-time immigrant communities. So legal challenges have already been filed in Chicago to block specific operations, and it's been chaotic so far with so much intense and rigorous strict policies, everywhere. I mean, not only schools, but also religious institutions where raids are being, executed. And they are all trying to find out illegal immigrants so far so as to deport them as soon as possible. So I don't know how much do you support this act, this strict immigration um, scrutiny that has been given out by Trump's administration. Folks out there, please comment or let us know what do you think about this. And those were a few updates from my end. And at the same time, I would like to say hi to Trisha. Thank you so much for joining us on YouTube. And Trisha has a question which we will address very soon. Trisha, please stay with us. And Sam, should we get back to our, topic of discussion for today? How are Indian students affected by recent US deportation policies?
Yeah,
I
I
know.
think a lot. They all are so tense. They all are so, I mean, in a very miserable situation right now because it's not. I mean, okay, we should go one by one. I shouldn't be going bluntly. I would like to know it from our viewers, because there are most of the international students who are watching our session or who might be, I mean, going through our webinars. So please go ahead, friends, and let us know your situation. I mean, what problems you guys are facing, because there's a lot we are going through the news, and there are a lot, many students, many Indian students, they have been going a lot, they have to leave their jobs, and it's a very I mean, latest news that we got today only, and that's about, Indian students are quitting their part-time jobs because of fears of deportation under President Donald Trump. So I think Nipasa, it's a very high time for students because in Biden's administration, there were many students, we have been seeing in cafes, in gas stations, in restaurants that mostly there are students who are working and who are also studying. And they were like going pretty well. There was no tension, no problem, and they were earning on side hand, and they don't have to be much dependent regarding the finance to their families. They were independent at that time, but now they have to quit by themselves because of the fear of deportation that what Trump has created, in this nation. So I think students are very much afraid right now, and they are also even worrying more that if they are going to, get caught, if they get caught during these activities, then they might have to lose their visas. And this time, Trump is not going to be lenient. He's not going to give the second chance, especially the immigrants. So they have to be very careful. They have to be very much, they have to stay updated and look upon all the criterias. If you're a F1 student, then by mistake, never try to do something that's against the rules, that's against the guidelines, because it's really going to harm you a lot and nobody can help you with that. And that can even affect you, by losing your visa, and that will be so sad. So I think this is what the overall gist, Nipasa, that I wanted to share to my viewers that's happening in the US, especially regarding the Indian students. So what's your call? I mean, what do you think how Indian students over there are suffering or are feeling those anxiety? I mean, what's your view on that?
Definitely, anxiety, trauma is all the more up there than ever before. I think ever since Trump came into the office, and it's just been a week. And when we look back at the whole overview of what he did this whole week, it's only like, of course, he has signed a lot of executive
Mhm.
ideas and policies, but also at the same time he has given a lot of attention and priority to illegal immigrants, and he has been making it his first priority to deport each one of them as much as possible, as soon as possible. And I mean, it's not just Indians, but when you look at it, Trump's, I mean, it has been creating fear, whatever he has been doing, this US deportation policies on Indian communities. It's also for Mexico and also for Central America, and of course, Indian communities included. And, the large number of undocumented Indians in the United States is really, jaw dropping, you can say, because 700,000 undocumented immigrants as of 2022 is no joke. And this time it's 2025, and there has been more or less around the same, and the impacts Indian students and families are really being impacted, and they are planning to migrate. I don't know how are they dealing with it as of now, but there is a serious sense of trauma, which is um, like, what's going to happen to them, their future. They have been there for so many years, or they have been there for a while, thinking that they're going to be able to achieve, and I mean, they're there for studies, whether they're there for their family, they're each doing something or the other, and leaving that life of theirs to think that it was not theirs at all in the first place. Imagine that. And well, it's very intensified, this crackdown, whatever Trump has created and his administration, and it's very, very strict. And if you really look at the statistics of undocumented Indian immigrants as well, it's huge. you know I mean, Indians make up the third largest group of undocumented immigrants in the United States. Like 90,000 Indians apprehended while attempting to enter the US illegally in 2023.
Mhm.
And these numbers, they suggest about migration trends and even risks taken by families. And it really trickles down to Indian students, hoping to legally study and work in the US. So I'm sure everybody is facing, I mean, even people who are legally present and are studying in the US, what they have been facing is also like huge tariffs, right? Whether it's for their stay, it's very, very expensive, America for them. And they have
Mhm.
been trying to, earn that extra also. And now they have been stopping all of that because Trump came into the office last week, and all these strict immigration policies is really scaring them that they do not want to be caught under anything. Well,
Mhm.
yes, that's another picture as of now.
That's right. And even, Napasa, if you're talking about like America being very expensive, and the tariffs are also there a lot, and the inflation is also like rising high in America. So it's also the reason can be the illegal immigration, because illegal immigrants are over there. They are also using the resources. They are also getting not the rights and not the legal perspective, but at least they are using those lands, right? They are having those resources, electricity, the water. Those are basic necessary things that what a human needs to live, and they are
Mhm.
having those, but they are not paying the taxes, right? The illegal immigrants, they can't pay the taxes, and they are not even having a good job, so they are not paying any contribution towards the US economy. They are, in fact, lots of economies, have been spent on them, and even to detect them, even to to have any operation, even these ICE operation, and to connect with FBI. These are all the things that needs a lot of money, lots of expenses. So there's a lot of expense also that has been put up to find these illegal immigrants, and also the legal ones, they might be suffering because of this. And there's a lot of economy problem also that we can see in the US right now, and that's what I think Indian students are facing the most, I would say, the challenging time of their life, because till now they have been working, they have been studying as well. Everything was so okay, everything was very balanced. But now I think in 2025 it's going to be really tough. It's going to be really, I would say, difficult, difficult time for not only the H1B workers or the F1 students, but for all the immigrants and for the Indian immigrants a lot, because there are lots of illegal Indian immigrants and there are lots of legal Indian immigrants as well.
Mhm.
So have to make sure that go with the guidelines, stay connected with all the valuable or the credible information that is being provided related to immigration policies, so that you don't mislead yourself and you don't do something that's
Mhm.
going to lose your visa. And there are some,
Definitely.
yeah. Please go ahead,
Yeah.
Nipasa.
No, no, I was just agreeing to what you said because, rules are there and they are to be followed. I mean, when you are in your own country, also, you are to follow them. And this is when you are in another country,
Yeah.
and you don't want to be called a criminal. I mean, not following a rule, not following a law is just directly stating that you have committed a crime. So just stay by do your research properly, know your do's and don'ts, and stick by your do's. Just do your do's and don't do your don'ts at all. So, yes, I mean, you know, the rules are also not very new if you think about it. They have been there and they are to be followed, and the sudden emphasis is only on the enforcement that has sparked this concern so much right now, among international students as well. So yes, if you talk about Indian students also, right, many of whom they depend on part-time jobs right now, and that is not just, just because they like it, but they're doing it because, they have to cover tuition and they have to also cover their living expenses, which is very, very expensive, just like we were saying a little earlier, and they're quitting their jobs due to fears of deportation. They're quitting their part-time jobs, their this income they are having from an extra source, and these fears, they really are out of rumors of workplace checks and even crackdowns by immigration authorities. So yes, I think it's always best to play safe, abide by the rules. If you are not supposed to work in a part-time job that is off your campus, maybe don't work at all. Just see whatever rules are to be followed, just stay by them. I think then you are going to be out of trouble. Playing safe is really, really important. I mean, Trump or no Trump, right?
That's
Following your
true.
rules is very important. Yeah.
And even Nipasa, there are some students. I would like to know. I mean, I would like to let our viewers know about it. That there's a student, Arjun, and he's a student in Illinois. So he used to work at small cafe to cover his monthly cost of
Mhm.
rent and his studies as well. So he earned about $7 per hour and worked 6 hours a day. So it's not a much earning, but still, these are the very basic earnings that he can fulfill his food and the accommodation prices. And it was a
Mhm.
comfortable job for him. But after hearing about like possible immigration enforcement that what Trump is going to have, he had to quit the job, and he also said that he can't risk it, especially after borrowing $50,000 to study here.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
this is a case, of a student, Arjun, and he was also an student,
Sorry.
and that's okay. So he was also an Indian student, and he also faced this problem. And I think this is not only just about Arjun. There's another girl named Neha who is studying in the New York,
Yeah.
and she also shared her worries. She said that my friend and I have decided to stop working for now. It's tough, but we don't want to risk deportation or losing our student visa status under Trump's administration. So we can understand, Nepasa, how students are so feared that till now, it's not that Trump has started the operation on the F1 students, but he is about to. And before, initiating the operation, these students are so feared, these students are so anxious that what's going to happen with them if they get caught. And that too, if we look into the actual guidelines, they're not doing something illegal, they're not doing something a very criminal activity, they are not hurting someone, they're just working so that they can earn a bit, right?
Mhm.
So it's not a
Yes.
very big crime, but as simply said, going against the law, I mean, going against the rules of those visas is equally punishable. If you are a criminal or not a criminal, that doesn't define, but if you're doing something against it, you will get punished. And
Yes.
that's what I wanted to share. And yeah, I think with that, these are the situations that left many students worried about their future, and they want to stay focused on their studies. But I think, Nepas, with these tensions, with these I mean anxieties also, they're not able to focus more on their studies. It
Of
somehow
course.
impacts. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, of course, there is this tension, this worry about their studies, but also at the same time, there's this financial difficulty. And with all this new administration coming in and putting all these stricter enforcement, it's become more traumatic for them. They're even struggling emotionally, as in how are they going to fulfill it? It's been expensive. They're trying to save up, and um, I mean, it's been hard for sure, and I'm sure it's going to get even harder. So I really hope that they figure out how are they going to deal with this, because
Hmm.
I mean it's the time of the study or time of their work, but they really have to balance it all and see that they're still abiding by the law of the United States.
Absolutely. And that's what I think, Napasa, here I have some thing for our viewers so that they can at least get help from it. And that's about, like how can you try your best to stay safe in America, and how can you be at least on the safe hands. And for that, I think it's very important to stay informed and compliant, because it's a very crucial time, especially for the Indian students, to stay updated on any changes to immigration laws. You have to keep on checking in with their university's international students office, and also try your best to consult with legal experts on visa matters, as this can prevent some unintentional violations, because it's not possible, that you are on F1 visa and only 20 hours you are allowed to work. It's very obvious that you friends have worked it, you friends have try to work in the restaurants, cafes, or any other, just to, secure yourself for the financial things. But that's okay. If you have done it, then make sure that you get the legal advice, and you get the, consult with the legal experts, so that they can prevent some unintentional violations. And also, moreover, students should be cautious about travel plans as well. Under Trump's administration, the US has tried to start canceling the policies, that prevent ICE from making arrests in very sensitive locations such as schools, churches, and hospitals, and making it harder for students to find protection from deportation. So we can
Mhm.
see that how much students have to be aware, because now schools, churches, and hospitals, because schools are like a second worship, and churches, it's obviously a place of God. So we can not even expect that this deportation operation has been reaching to this extent level, and it's a very extent, I mean, I would say a very extreme level, that nobody has expected Trump to reach to this level, but he is trying his best to, I mean, to just reach out to all the illegal immigrants, whether they are in school, whether they are in hospital or in churches, and even gurudwaras, what Nipasa you have mentioned on a news update. So it's
Yes.
very high time, and it's very difficult, for Indian students who are not, who are actually on legal visas, but they still have to go through that process, go through that anxious process, that what they don't even deserve.
I
So
mean, imagine like they're not, I mean, how traumatizing it could be, they will not even want to go to the churches or the Gurudwara just out of fear, like what's going to happen, or are they going to be asked questions? Is it going
yeah.
to be raided while they are visiting there?
Mhm.
And this fear is really abnormal, it's not normal. Whatever Trump and his administration has put up in the last 7 days, it's crazy. It's crazy, and I'm sure many people out there are not supporting this. Okay, let's see how it turns out to be. It's just 7 days of Trump in the office, but look at how much he's trying to do in the past 7 days. How fast he's trying to act, and he has been saying this before he even entered office.
Yeah.
The largest mass deportation program in the United States history, right? And it's truly happening. We can see it. So let's see what's going to happen. But everybody is affected. People from all walks of life, from whichever country they, if I mean, all immigrants are being affected by this. And of course, there's stricter enforcement on immigration laws. um, though these laws regarding unauthorized employment, they have always existed. It's not new, as I said earlier, but their enforcement was lax under previous administrations,
Yeah.
and the current administration is really cracking down on violations, which has intensified the pressure on students as well, very much, as we have
Mhm.
been seeing for the past half an hour. And immigration experts, they also say that those caught working without authorization face not just deportation but also long term repercussions,
Yeah.
including disqualification from future visa applications, like H1B or even green cards for that matter. And this stricter enforcement that has compelled many students to reconsider their employment choices, prioritizing their immigration status over financial stability. So
Mhm.
now they are all trying to play safe. They're trying to prioritize their immigration status, and not focus too much on income or how they can save up or how they can earn a little extra penny to be able to save up for their education or whatsoever maybe they're living.
Mhm.
But these rules, like I said, they are not very new. They have always existed, and maybe they were not much paid attention to a little earlier, but now they have to abide by each rule. So I wouldn't say it's really wrong, or I mean, Trump administration is doing their best to see that everybody is following their rules. Don't you think so, Sam?
I mean, Napasa, when anything is on extreme, that shapes up in a little negative way. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's not possible to be positive. Sometimes it's not possible to just be soft enough and be lenient enough and try to please everyone,
Hmm.
because 14 million illegal immigrants in US, that's a huge number. That's a huge number. It's not possible for any nation, if Trump is taking that step to remove those illegal immigrants, then I think he is trying his best. And that's how, all the illegal immigrants are not having their proper house, they're not having a very luxurious life, and they're not living in a residential area like between the legal ones. They might be hiding themselves in the churches, in the schools, in the hospitals, or maybe the best possible way where the ICE agents or maybe the Trump officers, they don't come there and find them. And that's what Trump understood, because there are people, the illegal people, they are going to hide in the most safest place. And if there only Trump is going to have those site visits, or trying to arrest those illegal immigrants and find them out, I think it's a very smart move. It's a very bold step that he's taking right now, and that's how only they are they'll get caught. It's not possible that each house you go and just ask for the legal documents, right? It's not possible that way. And that too, so many huge number of illegal immigrants. So
Hmm.
that's the only way. It's not possible, whether it's right or whether it's wrong. I mean, that's the only way. If you have to clear out dust from your country, I think that's the only way you can do it. And there's no other way.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's what I wanted to point out.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, Sam, that is very well said, and it's one side of the picture, of course. But the struggle, on the other hand, is another picture altogether. Immigration attorneys, whether you call them immigration counselors, they are all playing a very, very important role now. To
Absolutely.
help students navigate all these challenges that they're facing currently. And there are so many experts also out there. Let me name a few, like Abhijit Ziveri of Career Mosaic. They all emphasize the importance of students understanding and adhering to visa regulations. And especially with regard to work authorization such as CPT, or what we call curricular practical training, and OPT, that is optional practical training. So know your rules properly, read each and everything, and see that you're following them. Don't give a chance to anyone to point fingers at you. That's all I can say right now. And of course, universities and employers, they have like a huge support system, and many students still fall into trap of unauthorized work due to lack of awareness or guidance. So, I mean, this is the 21st century. All the information is in your fingertips. All you need to do is search, go out there, look for it, read it, and know it. And if you still feel like you do not know much, there are attorneys and there are special experts. You can really go and have a consultation. I'm sure your schools also have such amazing consultants where you can go and have a word with them, and they will direct you, so that you do not fall trap into things that you shouldn't fall into. So try to abide by the rules, know them by heart, know them like, make it your habit, to follow the rules. And of course, it could be tough, especially if you're trying to earn a little extra, but see if you are really eligible or if you're really allowed to, so. And these support systems, you should make the best use of them. Go talk to them, and they could help students comply with regulations while meeting all of your financial needs. So do that. It's very, very important.
Right. And I think, Napasa, we should also take our viewers' comments. I can see lots of comments here. So thank you so much, Selomit and Trisha also. So Trisha has already commented in the beginning of the show. So Napasa, why don't you go ahead and take Trisha's comment?
How do changes to the OPT program or H-1B visa rules affect Indian students' ability to stay and work in the United States after graduation, and what alternatives or solutions are available for them? Well, this is a very, very kind of a broad question, I would say. It depends, I mean, which field or which line are you in the study? And I think this would be best if we take this question to one of our experts, an attorney, maybe in some of our webinars that we have with these attorneys, and they will be able to guide you best. But yes, changes to OPT program, H-1B visa rules, they are. Um, Stay and work in the US. Right now, I think, the laws have not much changed if you go by them. And if you see, I think they still the same. All the thing is that they are checking that they everybody is following it without fail.
Yeah.
So I mean, people who are not able to follow it, I think Trump and his administration, they're trying to figure out who are going against the laws. So, but yes, I would say, we will take your question up in one of our attorney sessions, and Trisha, thank you so much for participating. I wonder where you're at right now, and tell us, where you are, and it'll be really nice to know you. And maybe if you tell us more about your status and what you're studying, where you're studying, and whether you're under an OPT program, um, let us know, and maybe we will be able to give you the best answer in the coming sessions.
And Trisha, you can also join here by dialing this number, and you can also go ahead and call us on this number and join this session. And I think instead of having these comments and replying to these comments, it will be best to have one-on-one conversation. So please go ahead. We are waiting for you, and not only to Trisha, to all our viewers, those who are watching us right now. Please go ahead and dial this number, because it's really going to be very helpful, and it's the best thing that you can join here and say a lot. Say anything that you want to say about today's topic, about your immigration journey, or if you are planning to move ahead to the US, Canada, or whatsoever. Just feel free, and we are here for you for an hour. Okay, so I think Trisha got your answer, and now I would like to take up the next comment. So Salomit, hi Salomit, and he is saying that Prashant Ajmera, an immigration lawyer, explained the issue in detail. He clarified that this was not a new policy, but stricter enforcement of existing law. Okay,
Exactly what
so
I've been saying. Yeah.
Prashant Ajmera is one of our attorneys, and I think he is being like Salomit is following our show. So thank you so much, Salomit, for this very important update, and also letting us know what our attorney says. And also, he's saying that with the former administration, authorities weren't actively targeting such activities, but the current government is enforcing the law strictly. If students are found working without authorization, it can affect their future chances of securing an H-1B visa, a green card, or any other visa. I think that's very well put up, Salomit. I mean, it's definitely going to affect. And under Trump's administration, everything is so strict, so tough, so challenging. So that's what we are trying our best, by having these sessions, by having these webinars, and also posting daily, daily immigration news, then also latest videos, latest news, so that our viewers can get to know, our viewers can stay updated. So it's a very high time, it's a very tough time, especially for the H-1B workers, and also the one those who are, working, and those who are starting over there. So make sure,
No, but
friends,
seriously,
stay
I mean,
updated.
whatever Smith has, mentioned, because if you are not abiding by the rules, if you're doing what you're not supposed to do, it's really going to affect your visa status. They're going to, if at all you're going to be caught, it's going to be dangerous for you, as in, like, probably your visa is going to be terminated. You're going to be sent back to where you came from, and you know if you're an F1 student and you want to transfer to an H1B soon after your graduation, it could be troublesome for you, because they wouldn't want you, because you are not being able to abide by the rules. So over and over I've been saying, don't be uh, I mean, do your research properly. Don't be ignorant. It's very, very important that you know what you're doing and you are allowed to do what you're doing, especially that you're in another country. You need to play safer. So folks, please, take some time out, do your research properly, and if you still feel confused, just consult with an attorney. Consult with an expert, consult with people who have been there for ages now, who have been under the same program, maybe an STEM OPT, maybe an F1 student. Consult with them. They'll be able to tell you what you've got to do and what you've got not to do. So, Selumit, thank you so much for putting those very important points up as well.
I think next up is Rajesh. So Rajesh is saying that Indian students in the US are reportedly quitting part time jobs amid fears of deportation. Following stricter immigration policies, international students on F1 visas are permitted to work up to 20 hours per week on campus. However, many take up off-campus jobs at restaurants, gas stations, which are unauthorized under visa regulations. I think this is what Napasa, right? We are talking
Happens.
and discussing from the beginning of our session, and that's what we have been talking, that yes, it's the
It's
rule
our
of the.
topic. I know that it's been, financially very challenging, for Indian students as well, and much more now that you know, the dollar has risen. So it's very, very effective, I'm sure, and it's effective not just Indians but so many nations out there. So I know there
Mhm.
is this financial challenge that you need to cope up with, but it's more important to play safe. Don't jeopardize your future just to be able to save up a little bit. Try to follow the rules, and whatever you do, see that you are not breaking any laws. Okay, I would just say that.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, Rajesh, for participating here. Thank you so much, Selomeet also, and Trisha also for, posting your comments. And we really love these comments because it really gives us a lot of different information, a lot of different perspective, like how you guys are understanding these situations and how you guys are, going through these situations. So I think it's one of the best thing that we are having in DID, that is daily immigration dose, to know your perspective, to know your views. And yeah, please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to our channel. It's one of the, very latest updates we provide over there related to global politics and immigration laws as well, so that you won't miss ahead. And with that, I think, Nipasa, we have already talked about a lot in today's session, right? We have talked about like what Indian students have been suffering from and what are the challenges that they might have been facing. Then which category, which visa category they have been looking for. Then what are the different places where mass
Mhm.
deportation is taking place. So I think these are the things that we have come across. And is there anything else that you would like to add on so that our viewers can understand a better in a better way?
I think I would just say that, of course, it's very uncertain because stricter immigration policies have really taken a toll from what we can see in the past 7 days with Trump coming into the office. But, everybody's getting traumatized and they're all anxious as in what is going to happen. And it's taken a toll kind of, in the mental health of not just Indian students, but almost all immigrants out there. So, I
Right.
would say, this fear of deportation combined with this financial pressure that folks are facing, whether it's the pressure of loans or the sacrifices made by their families. They've left so many students and many others, feel anxious and even overwhelmed as in what is going to happen. So, like you mentioned, stories like Neha and Arjun, right? If you're not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, that is just two examples, but there are so many people out there who are facing similar kinds of situations. And, there are students who have had to quit jobs to avoid deportation. And I would just say, like, once again, try to follow the rules. If you're still not sure, go, take some time out, read each one of them and see that whatever Trump and his administration has been saying, it's nothing new. It's existing. It's been there for some time now. It's just that they're checking if everybody's following it or not. So
Yeah.
try to make sure that you are also one of the ones who are following them, and just play safe, I would say. And that way you will also be less anxious and you will be less traumatized, less scared of what is going to happen. And whatever you've gone to America to do, whatever you're here for, do it in the best possible way without falling into trouble. And if you're there for studies, if you're there for work, all the best, do your best, and just stay out of trouble.
Right. And I think the best advice also I could suggest to our viewers, that friends, I hope you guys know that we also come live as in live shows we do with our immigration attorneys and who are experts who have proper, very great experience in immigration laws and policies. So we have regular shows with them, every week, and we come up with very different topic and very latest topics that is happening in Trump's administration, or mostly in immigration policies. So make sure that you guys can also join us over there and ask your questions directly with immigration attorney, and there we also provide you the contact details so that you can personally contact them and take a good consultation with them so that you won't be
Yes,
having any
I'm,
troubles.
I'm sure sometimes, you may feel like attorneys are a little expensive, but you have your university advisors as well. They are going to be able to guide you also. So,
Yeah.
it's most important that if you are confused, go talk it out with experts or with people who have been, under the same kind of program that you are into. So, yes, all the best.
Absolutely. All the best, friends. Good luck. And, it was really great. It was really insightful. And any one of you, if you are, willing to post any comment or willing to dial this number, then please go ahead and we are here for you. And meanwhile, I think, after the stream also, if you guys are posting any comments, don't worry. After the stream also, we are going to provide you the answers, provide the solutions. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining this and being a part of this session. And we have discussed a lot in today's episode, and it was really good. It was really insightful. We'll come up every day from Monday to Friday. Tomorrow also we'll come up with very interesting topic, very hot and very timely topic that's happening in the world of immigration. So make sure to stay connected, make sure to stay updated, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show, and press the bell icon for every notification. Thank you so much, everyone. Me and Nipasa are signing off for now. Goodbye and take care.
Bye, everyone.